Hey there, AfterBuzzers. You're watching the AfterBuzz TV After Show for Black Sails, Season 4, Episode 8, XXXVI, aka 36. Stay tuned as we share our thoughts and predictions.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh yeah, Nadine and I were just talking about how we should be listening to this soundtrack or this song to work out to.
I just always.
Don't you just feel badass? Like,
hello, I'm here.
I am here and I am powerful and I will do everything and conquer
Treadmill,
everything.
you are mine.
Wait, you're going down. Anybody else feel like that, or does this song make you feel like, you know, super powerful?
Yeah.
And like you could take over everything? Because that's how it makes me feel.
Before any fight, I'm gonna just play this and then have my discussion with someone.
You up, exactly. But I bet the whole soundtrack is killer.
Yeah, we gotta listen to it.
All right, you guys, we are here yet again with Black Sails After Show. Tonight we are talking Season 4, Episode 8, also known as 36 or XXXVI, right? That's 36? Yeah. I'm doing my Roman numeral math right. I am Lauren Salaun, and you guys can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun, and I'm joined tonight by Nadine.
Hey guys, yes, Nadine Delle here. You guys can find me everywhere at Nadine DP and the number 3.
Awesome. So, hey guys, hey Killian in the chat. We've got the live chat up. So if you guys are watching live on YouTube, youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, chime in on the conversation because you guys always have such great stuff to share, and we love engaging with you guys and talking with you guys as we're talking through the show and the episodes. And you guys are already starting to chat up in here. Yes, the song killer, right?
Amazing.
And if you guys haven't already, make sure you've hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and also check us out on iTunes. You can get all of our after shows and every other one that we do here at AfterBuzz there. And while you're in there, leave us a review.
Yeah, we'd love that.
We would love
We want to
it.
hear what you have to think, say,
Yes.
say.
Well, yeah, all of it. Think, say, all, you know.
Do.
Okay, so this episode, we are getting to the end of the entire series. So shit's getting real.
Yeah.
Okay, so where we are right now, we left off from last week. Grandma Guthrie is in the picture, and they are tapping into her to help fix this problem.
Yeah.
You know, and she has agreed to help if they kill Flint.
Exactly. Crazy.
Yeah. And Silver and Flint disagree on the plan with what to do with the cash and how to rescue Maddie and what direction to take against Woods, all this stuff. And we saw that Silver got the treasure behind Flint's back as a backup plan, just in case Flint's plan didn't work and he decided to, put Maddie at risk.
Sounds like a strong partnership of trust.
Right?
Just right there.
And we all knew, that was going to blow up.
Backfire somehow.
Or not backfire, but just that was obviously going to come to light and be a dramatic thing, which it did this episode. I thought this episode was great. It wasn't a high-intensity action episode, so it was one of our more, conversational and planning ones, but it was exciting.
It was better than last week, where last week we had a setup episode too, which involved some fighting, but we still weren't too satisfied with it. This one had 0 fighting. No sword fights were had at all throughout all of it, which I thought was surprising.
Headshots.
But a few
gunshots to the head, but from far away.
Unwilling.
I mean, who cares? We don't know who they are.
Through a telescope doesn't really count as one of our people.
Phased.
But I was more into it, and I felt more satisfied leaving the episode than last week's.
Yes.
And it's just like you said, it's all coming kind of to a closure in a sense, and you really can feel that in all different aspects of all of our stories.
Right.
For the good or the bad, I don't know.
I know. So we start off this episode with a mysterious Woods going to Billy. And so Woods has gotten a hold of Avery's journals, and the plan is now to lead everyone to Skeleton Island, aka Treasure Island, which is very exciting. We're coming full circle here, and so this situation, and now everyone's headed that way.
Everyone's going there.
Exactly. So we've heard a lot about Avery throughout the whole series, actually, and he's this mysterious, legendary pirate king from back in the day. Teach knew him, and everyone has these weird stories about him. Later we hear Flint telling a story about Skeleton Island and all this stuff. So we've got these, like, he's interwoven into the series a lot, and especially in this episode too. I mean, we later see Rackham and Featherstone talking about him,
looking down on him and being like,
well, that's not him. He was like the last guy to like sail
to see it, but what he kind of would look like, that old and crumbly, just sitting there having a brew and
exactly
being a pirate.
And so that's, everyone's kind of tapping into this like mystique of this man, and so Woods is kind of like going rogue a little bit, and I mean, not really a little bit.
Well, the opening scene, he kind of looked like he was going crazy, and
somebody just said literally like all cloak and dagger, which very much doing his own thing to avenge Eleanor, and
why avenge Eleanor?
I mean,
I don't know.
It was her. Yeah.
Sorry, we shouldn't talk ill about the dead.
Whatever. But it is interesting because when he goes and meets with his like associate, they just had a board meeting or whatever, and they wrapped up before Woods got there, and he gets called out for sure, and he says he's following through on Eleanor's plan. Yeah. And it is like in a sense a way to it could be a combination of two things. Either he's in agreement that actually she was probably right with this plan, and maybe a little bit of like, oh, well, this is how I honor her memory by following through with it, even if I don't totally agree. So it could be any combination of those things, but no, he's like going forward with it. His associate, I don't know what his name is, warns of a mutiny, so I think some foreshadowing is coming there with our British. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that he said it's, it was my wife's plan, not my plan, as his kind of excuse for why he's doing it, but I think he does full-heartedly want to go along with this and want to do it. Mainly, I don't think he really cares about Nassau that much anymore, I think it's just getting that type of revenge, and everything that he loved was taken from him, right under him, right in front of him, basically. And he's going to do what he can. And he didn't care that he was late either. He didn't care that everyone left. But that definitely is foreshadowing that something crazy is going to happen with him too. Yeah. And not in the good way. And the way that when he was on the ship and just killing people off, I know we'll get into that. And then he just puts a gun to Maddie's head without I thought he was actually going to shoot her too. Yeah. But
I know.
He is going rogue.
He is going rogue. And so we've got a lot of concern over this. So Mrs. Hudson, Eleanor's handmaiden, she reads Eleanor's journal, which I thought was a nice touch to see that like true love for Woods,
that it wasn't this whole
concerned about him, all this stuff. And she ends up going to Mrs. Mapleton at the brothel, so the head of our whorehouse, and pretty much saying like, oh, he's out of control, and if you like, I'll give you info and like tell you about the plan and I'll get you on the council if you like help me get back to London and kind of help figure this big shitstorm out. Yeah.
Which is such an innocent thought on her end, that she's just like, oh yeah, let me get this woman on the council and it's going to help us and help our cause and the British, and I just want to get home, and doesn't even realize what this is actually going to mean, as we find out or foreshadow later.
And it's interesting because as I was watching that, I'm like, is that all? Like, it's just to get her back home to London? Like, this is the big play? Like, you don't have more going along with it? And then Mrs. Mapleton goes right to Rackham with this, and it's like, oh, I've got a very interesting development for you.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is Mrs. Hudson, though, has no idea that Rackham's there and whatnot. So on her end is pure innocence of her wanting to just get home, not realizing, not trying, because at first I was like, wait, is she saying this and doing this because now she wants to be anti the governor and anti the establishment and whatnot? Or is it simply the innocentness of her just wanting to get back to her family? Which I think it's that, and that's what the sad part is that it's all going to blow up in her face. Poor woman just wants to get home.
I know. So that's kind of our situation with Woods for the most part this episode. Let's talk a little bit about, well, since we're on, the big bulk of this episode was like the Silver Flint, like, unraveling and the rift there, which it's stressing me out, you guys. And so part of me wonders if this whole breakdown, well, let's get into it. So in the beginning, we have like some old school like manipulative Flint tactics of like talking to like building Silver up and being like, oh, but you and Maddie, like, you guys are gonna rule like the new world and all this stuff, and it was a great speech. Like, he's so you know, you could be so hopeless and all this and blah, blah, but I'm not hopeless, you know. And so, like, I wonder, like, how much of that is him trying to manipulate the situation, or, like, how much of it for them is real friendship. Like, you never totally
I think that on Flint's end, it's always manipulation. I think that I don't think he's really capable of a pure type of friendship and warm heart, in a sense. He's been through way too much. He has lost way too much to get where he is now and to fight for this island and everything he believes in, where I don't think he's gonna, especially to someone like Silver, who, yes, has a lot of power, but is also one of his biggest challenges as well in reaching his own goal. So I don't think he's ever gonna let his heart down. And when Silver gets into that dialogue, which we'll talk about, and Flint actually says, yeah, you can trust me, basically. I was like, no, you can't. No, you can't. You can't do it.
I keep hoping that they can fully trust each other, but I don't think so.
Unless this is all a big plot at the end and a big twist that we're not seeing.
That was what I was going to say. I'm hopeful for it. Like, I really hope that it's like some big trick that they're in cahoots together.
Something. But one of their men did die in the middle of this quarrel between them.
Yeah.
And so that's what kind of leads me to believe that maybe it's not. Because I don't think they would sacrifice one of their men underneath a boat.
They would.
You think? Possibly. I don't know. I feel like that pirate brotherhood for, I don't know, to trick who?
There's like a lot of big stuff at stake.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel obviously Flint would. Silver's
all over the place,
but
right
I feel
now.
like he's like, so Silver in our equation. Okay. Silver, okay, so when they're downstairs fighting, he makes a statement, I will not choose a war over a wife. First of all, did they get married?
When did they get married?
When's the wedding? Why haven't we seen it?
They did sleep together, so I think then that meant a lot.
No, it didn't.
I don't know.
Remember, they sleep with everybody.
But at the madam's house and the whorehouses, but not with Maddie, you know, the leader of the slaves.
So that's a little thing. Like, was that literal?
Yeah.
Because if it was, what the heck?
He's a little delusional.
We've missed 2 big weddings.
Yeah, he's a little delusional. Yeah, there's been a lot happening.
And then when they fight as well, you know, Silver's pointing out how he's always followed Flint's insane plans, but still had like backup plans and other stuff going on.
And still messed up those plans
Don't
too.
be so innocent, you know? And then he's saying, you know, now the roles are reversed and you're unwilling to do the same. But like you just said, Flint is like, you know, teeth grittingly agrees to kind of go along with it. And when we do have that face off, with Woods' men, and they're shooting the guys, and Maddie is there and stuff, Flint suggests to bring the guns around, and Silver stops it, like is not even willing to like
discuss
go
it
any further with that. And Flint's face in that scene, he's like, are you freaking kidding? Like, are you serious? You betrayed, like, true shock, you know,
like,
and just
horrid on his face.
Yeah, exactly.
They just can't. But I'm sitting here as a viewer watching and being like, yes, I can believe that one of you would do something horrible to the other person, or make someone make a promise that they can't keep, or this and that, because look at who you guys are. And I feel like they're living in this little make-believe bubble in a sense, or at least Silver is. And Flint's trying. And
it's interesting because, and I think, so Killian just said in the chat that, to be honest, I'm still pretty surprised by how much Silver loves Maddie. I don't disagree completely but we haven't seen a ton of like that romance build, you know? And with Silver, I mean, like, you know, with this whole situation and him, a woman coming between them after like everything that they've been working toward this whole like the past several years and several seasons, it seems a little trivial that like a woman and love is like what throws it all away.
It kind of seems cliche in a sense too, that's what it would be, and that's what they choose in a sense. But I also think it's that Silver and her have met through a time of craziness and a time of where things haven't been easy, and he's basically had to fight to have her with him. So I mean, who knows if it's going to be this beautiful, long-lasting romance once they're actually together and free and all of that. But I think it's the idea of needing to protect someone and needing someone else's interests that really, because he's been alone, it seems. He hasn't had anybody his whole life and stuff, and he's tried to be a pirate, this and that. And so I think this was his first attachment to something, and that's why it's his first love or so that we've seen, and she's gone, and he's just trying to fight for her. So it's that I don't know, inherent want and need to rescue someone.
But I agree that yes, Killian, lack of screen time on their relationship, I agree with that. And then the fact that it is like, you know, what is this season so far with like all this, like, I'm doing it for love. That's like the whole theme, I feel like, of this whole season so far. Eleanor dies for love.
But horrible love.
Yeah,
like love I
Max,
don't care about.
I did it for love. Silver, I'm doing it for love. Like everyone, you know?
But in reality, they all love treasure more than each other, let's be real. Like, come on.
Exactly. So maybe that's the big lesson in Black Sails. Like, follow your heart.
Yeah.
Less stabbings and sword fights and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I agree with that. Feeling a little cliche over like a woman can tear down the whole like plans that they've had for years.
Yeah, like between two BFFs.
Not a woman. Like that makes it sound like she is coming in between them, but she isn't. She's not the one who's driving a wedge. The fact that she got captured and what they have to do to save her, that's what's driving the wedge. It's not about Maddie personally in any way.
But it's also that Flint also said, he said like the Cash and Maddie are both critical to the war and to holding the alliance together.
Yes.
So in that moment, but this was before Silver made him basically promise to go along with whatever Silver wants to do and not undermine him. He was going on that whole rant basically, and I felt that was genuine and real. That Flint actually did want to save her, not for Silver, but because
like, I don't care if it's about your heart. It's
exactly
like, because we got all her people.
Yeah, we have her people and we need them, and like if she's gone, then you know we're gonna get in a fight with them and all this stuff. So when he said that, and then he said, and also obviously the money, I thought that his heart really was. He was going to actually go ahead and save her and do all that. And I think it was until the demands were made and stuff and he realized where Silver's head was at and like, bro, no, I can't even help now with this. I don't agree with it.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm just keeping up with y'all in the chat a little bit. Love it.
Let's chat.
So what was I going to say? And when Silver and Hans have their little conversation. So there was a lot of like, you know, a lot of back and forth in this episode. Silver's like, does not feel very organized, you know? And so he and Hans talk, and Hans is like, hey, bro, the crown can't be shared, man. Like, you know what you gotta do.
He keeps saying this every episode.
Yeah, kill Flint.
Yeah.
And Silver was like, never say that again. Don't even, like, no. Make no move against him, blah, 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 blah.
Don't tell anyone else.
Like, good. Yeah, good, you know? And then later, you know, we see Flint talking to, what's his name, Dooley?
Yeah.
And being like, oh, Silver's compromised. I need another right-hand man. Like, I need another number 2 to be alongside me. I'm like, who is
I need another BFF.
Yeah,
like,
who the hell is this guy? Like, we never see this bro. Like,
dude,
what
he's
the
only
heck?
fighting ever.
Yeah, and so, and while they're having that conversation, Hans happens upon them and saves them from that, you know, guy there on the floor who's grabbing the gun. And so Hans knows everything. And they're like talking about breaking into the treasure and getting all that stuff. And then he pretty much says like, go. Yeah. Do it. Move forward with it. And then is like, oh, hey, Silver, like, what's happening?
Which is kind of brilliant on his end, though. Yeah, it's brilliant because he's so right. Silver would never believe that, you know, that Flint would actually undermine him. If he killed Flint, he would think it was Hans's fault, not Flint's fault, because he is in this cloud that Flint's my buddy and my best friend. And he would never do that. Like, we're really tight now, and like he wants what I want, and like we've had combos under the ship. You have no idea.
Under the ship.
Just like that.
No idea.
So yeah, but I mean, it was brilliant. It was the only way, which I think was,
so it was smart on Hans's part. And Hans, like, I don't really use it against him. Hans doesn't really give a shit. He's like, I'm all for like whatever like is the best option. I don't care about you guys that much. Like,
but he shows loyalty to Silver in a sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in a sense, like completely.
Like completely, but he also sees the bigger picture. Yes. So I feel like
he's like old school.
He is. That's why I feel like I need to go with what Hans is thinking and doing. So if Hans is like, now we need to kill Flint, I'm like, well, maybe we should kill Flint. Like I kind of like Hans's suggestions and ideas. I don't know.
Yeah. So you guys in the chat. So Trey just said that he might be Team Flint or just Team Treasure.
Team Flint. I like Team Treasure.
Yeah.
The poor Treasure, let it be.
Let the treasure be.
Let the
Leave it
treasure
alone.
go, please.
What would Flint have done if it was Miranda instead of Maddie or Thomas? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I actually thought Silver was going to pull one of their names out. Thomas more likely, because we had that little plant, that seed planted about that like secret like
Getaway.
secret getaway prison.
Yeah.
retreat. So that's what I thought. I thought he was going to go there. Like, oh, excuse me, if this were Thomas, like, we know what you'd be doing. Like, do not.
Don't,
So we've got that situation. And then, of course, in the end, you guys, we close on Silver meeting up with frickin' Woods Rogers and saying, like, we need to kill Flint, you know? And then, like, kind of Billy is saying, like, okay, well, what were the demands? Like, you know, you give the treasure and, like, what was the other piece? And it's like, kill Flint.
Yeah, and when Billy was saying that that was the moment where I was like, wait, is this all a fake? Did they send Billy on purpose? Kind of what we were
Are they
half
Ocean's
predicting?
11ing us?
Like, what's happening? Are they all faking all of this and they're just bringing everyone to the island and Flint has this plan on the island to be able to kill all of Rhodes' people, you know, or Rogers' people?
Yeah.
And it's... that is a possibility just because Billy spoke up in that moment. And it made it sound like they were in cahoots in some sense. I don't know. It was a big risk, though, if they sent Billy there.
I know. So this is very, like, I wrote in my notes in all caps, I want this to be a big trick.
Yeah.
Like,
it may be, though, because now
is.
we have everyone fighting to kill Flint. We have, Roger's team wanting to kill Flint.
Yes.
Silver wants to kill Flint, and Rackham is going to kill Flint.
I know, what the heck,
So
Flint?
it's everyone against Flint and his one homie, like, on the island.
Dooley, the turd that we just found out about.
It's Dooley, Flint, and Treasure on the island. So there's no, like, there has to be something else, that they're luring them onto the island for a reason.
Yes.
I think there has to be. It can't just be everyone kills Flint and then what?
Is there a monster on the island?
You know?
Well,
maybe.
I mean, ghosts, pirate ghosts, hi.
Duh, yeah.
Haunted island.
That's definitely going to happen. It has to.
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, you can't kill pirate ghosts very easily.
Yes. Well, yeah. Silver was and always will be a double crosser.
Yeah.
Yes. Ragander Dio. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Says, I'm on Flint's side.
Wow, Team Flint.
Yeah, I feel like Team Flint too.
But Flint doesn't have anyone to help him.
But
I
know.
But Flint went rogue and has no one to back him up.
Flint's gonna pull it off.
Like, is he gonna
like he
single-handedly
always does.
fight everyone off? Like, come on.
What if he's got like a secret, like he's already been there? It's like booby trapped already.
Exactly. That's what something is happening.
Or he's got like a giant, like, I don't know, woolly mammoth that lives on it.
Probably more likely the latter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woolly mammoth.
Some like
I will go
crazy
with
creatures.
that.
Like, I don't know what's
Woolly
happening.
mammoth and dead pirate ghosts are going to
You guys, I don't know.
help with this war.
So, really stressed about this situation and Flint, and I have like visions of him getting killed in like a big bloody, like going out with like fighting like a like badass, or it being some trick, and I just hope it's a trick.
I think it's a trick.
Pirates live happily ever after, but I know pirates don't live happily ever after. Ooh,
yeah.
Words. So
well, remember when they tricked us when they were on the island where Maddie was, where all the slaves were, they were hiding out, and they tricked us with that, and they just they hid in the grass and they just ambushed the whole crew there.
Yeah.
So that was a big whoa, what's happening here, whatnot. So I think that may be a possibility again, or at least I'm hoping for it.
I know.
Hoping for it in some way.
I hope so too. Okay, let's move on to our like Max and Rackham situation,
Our girls.
which is very Max was a big player in this episode.
Yeah,
I mean,
she
she's
was.
been a big player for a long time, of course, but a big player in this episode. She's tending to Anne, and we see Guthrie has taken Max under her wing and sees how smart Max is and how influential she is and how effective she could be at being a leader there, and proposes this plan for her to marry this like banking heir and become a very powerful woman in the shaping of Nassau, and it's a very appealing thing, and And like back then, you know, a woman's not going to be, unless you're in the pirate world, a woman is not going to be like in the head of some political office, you know, type of deal. Or
not really, like Eleanor was, in a sense.
Right. You're not going to do that unless you're doing it the pirate way. And so there is something appealing about her being like the brains behind the man or the woman behind the man, because that's what Grandma Guthrie is. That's what Eleanor Guthrie
That's what most women
was.
are.
Like, right? Yeah. But especially in this show, that's what a lot of our big influential women have been. I think Eleanor and Woods had a more of a partnership, but you know, we see this with Grandma Guthrie's like steering the, you know, steering the ship with this situation. So it is like a pretty appealing thing for Max in a sense. And later we see that she, well, let's get to this later. It's like the like build
that'll be the setup
and the drama of it. So we have this scene with Adele and Anne. Huge scene. So Anne's like making a slow recovery. There's this like really sad part. She can't even like cut herself a slice of bread because her hands, she's still so jacked up. And Adele comes in, and she's been a much bigger character than I think we all expected her to be.
We've seen a lot of her recently.
Yeah, a lot of her recently. And she tells Anne that she killed her friend and that she wanted to kill Anne, you know, get revenge and kill Anne. And Max told her no. And that ended up, and so she didn't, obviously, and didn't attempt to. And she explained how important Max is to her. And because Anne was so important to Max, like, there was no question. Like, she listened. It was like an easy decision. Like, okay, but I just want you to know you killed my friend.
Yeah, she ended it like that after all this whole speech.
And here's a slice of bread. I'm not actually going to stab you with this knife.
I know. What did they expect us, like, when she was picking up the knife? Really, you're going to go for Anne? Anne, with like as beat up as she is, in every situation would be able to kill that woman.
Right?
Just like that, just looking at her.
Exactly.
Like, come on. But I mean, I think that was great on her end because she saw Max crying after Anne was kind of like, yo, there's no future for us. There never is going to be. There never will be. Like, you basically, you undermined me. You went behind my back. You backstabbed me. And she sees how sad Max is, Adele, and that loyalty and love she has for Max is the only thing that caused her to even speak her mind up.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty powerful. And then it ends up, you know, Max is sitting outside and Anne comes out and she's like, yo, what the hell are you doing? It's like,
get inside.
Balls in here. Yeah. And she says, like, you know, opens up about the plan and says that she didn't do it. And, like,
once again, love is overpowering everything.
It's all about love, this episode. But says, like, you know, she, like, basically Anne's her true love, and she said no, even though that's, like, a very appealing plan, you know, and helps with the big goal, but says no because even with no alternative, and at the risk of losing everything, because Anne, she didn't want to do anything that would jeopardize her relationship with Anne.
Her being with Anne in the future. And she said that, like, the biggest thing that she regrets is ever trying to do anything that didn't result with, at the end of the day, with Anne by her side, basically.
Yeah.
She's like, that's the one thing I regret, is why would I ever do anything that didn't result in the benefit for you and me and all
anything that could push you even slightly away or distance myself from you in any way, like, it's not an option anymore. So that was such a huge moment for her. And with Max as a character, I think there's been no question that she has a big heart. Like, I think every time she's loved, it's been for real, and she's pretty transparent about her feelings. Like, she does scheme and plot and look out for herself, but I think she has a really big heart too. And so this was a cool, like, moment of clarity for her as a character to be like, you know, I have been screwed over. Sorry, I almost swore on big F word. I've been screwed over so many times in the past, and like, you know, by love and by other people, for whatever reasons, and like
by Eleanor.
not had control over, like, you know, who I get to sleep with, things like that. Like, and this was like her decision. Like, no, I'm choosing, like, you, even if you're not choosing me, and even if we're not together or we may not be together, like, I'm still choosing.
I'm choosing the hope of one day.
Yeah. So that was huge.
And then they grabbed hands. And
Yeah.
that was the first time they've had, like, contact that wasn't
I
just,
know.
like, you know, helping heal her wounds and whatnot.
I know. And so I'm sitting here thinking, like, hi, what about Rackham?
Yeah.
And then also thinking, like, okay, are they going to, like, Max, Anne, and Rackham, like, be this power triple?
Triad. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Rackham has to know that they were going to rekindle something being there. Like, even with that long kiss goodbye, like, in front of Max and stuff, like, you're leaving these girls alone for, it seems like now, like, a month in Philly. Like, the timing on all of this, because, like, Rackham's back already.
Oh my God, how long have they been on?
Like, I don't understand, like, the timing of all this. But anyway, he knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, so it's like a little curious about what their situation will be like, and we can talk about this in predictions, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like, hi, what's happening? But I have a feeling he'd just, like, be cool with it if that was the plan.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if Anne's going to stay now, because she was trying to, like, find from Adele, before Adele made that whole monologue, ships that were leaving and that were willing to take her, because she didn't want to be there anymore. She didn't want to be with Max anymore. So I'm wondering if possibly Max is going to maybe leave with her, and they're just going to leave and just forget the whole Guthrie help at all, or because now that Max has denied Guthrie's help, I don't know. And
Maybe
they're both
go
going to
live at
stow
that
away.
pirate or that, like, rich bad guy
Yeah.
getaway
Getaway
ranch.
place.
Yeah, the Dude Ranch.
The Dude Ranch, I guess.
Okay, so so that was a big moment. Again, like, it's all about love this season so far. Okay, so now we've got Lil Rackham to close us out. So Rackham has to kill Flint, and I mean, Rackham's not exactly a star fighter or anything, which is a bit of comedy for us in this episode. And he, you know,
is hidden away too.
Yeah, he's hidden away. We've got, you know, he knows about how he can kind of get an in with Woods and, like, know of their plan. So he's kind of like in the background here. He's, you know, collaborating with Featherstone, and we've got the old man who used to know Avery, and they can show them the way to Skeleton Island. So obviously everyone's heading to Treasure Island. Like, this is where our big showdown's gonna end, which is a great, like, passing of the baton for Treasure Island.
Because we knew Silver and Rackham's teams needed to meet up eventually.
Yes.
Like, they had to at some point, and they're going to now. So.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah, so we didn't see a ton of Rackham, but we know he's, like,
planning.
sneakily scheming and planning. I feel like the Flint thing's not going to work out there exactly, but anyway.
Flint's not going to, we'll talk in predictions.
Yeah, okay.
But,
all right, Jack is, you guys have said this a few times in the chat, that Jack is most likely going to die.
Oh.
Historically, yeah, if they go historically, Jack is done for, Trey.
Yeah.
But we know that they don't always, so...
But that leaves Anne and Max to live
see.
happily ever after without that question. And, you know, without regret if she should have chose Max over, or
mean, you
Rackham
can
over
choose
Max.
both.
Yeah, you can. That she has.
I know.
They have.
I've seen it before.
Done that before.
It kind of worked.
But I mean, I think we are due for another death of one of our, you know, one of our prize pirates, I guess.
Yes.
And he would kind of be, would not 100% be the saddest one that I would feel the most for if he passed away.
Any of our big characters, if they die, I'd probably cry over it.
Oh, of course, but
I don't
Rackham.
know if I'd cry over Anne.
Really? Really? Not my girl. Oh, I would cry enough for both of us. Don't you worry.
I don't know.
But I don't think she's not going anywhere.
I think I'd cry the most over Silver and Flint.
Silver and Flint. I think I would do Rackham.
I don't know why. I guess I'm just not feeling very
Emotional today. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so let's talk about predictions. Okay, so predictions.
Predictions.
There we go. Hi.
Now, your AfterBuzz
Oh
TV.
yeah. Okay, so y'all in the Chizat say if they go historically, Jack is done for. I really want to be, rather than, like, predict things, I want to have hopes.
Okay.
And I want to hope for the Max and Rackham.
A positive prediction table.
I want to hope for the Max and Rackham power
couple
trio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Flint's going to end up getting dead.
I agree. I don't think Flint's going to die.
I don't think we're going to see that. I am really also hopeful that it's a big trick. I think it's a big trick.
I'm totally with you.
I want our pirates to come out victorious.
Yeah. They have to.
Even though, like, you know, history.
But
But I want to.
But it's my one question, and Flint kind of touched upon this when he was talking with Silver. It's like, what happens after like we win this fight? Like, how are we gonna realistically
take on the rest of the world?
Yeah, continue to like we're just gonna continuously be in war, continuously be in fight, and he's just like, yeah, it sounds horrible, but you have to have hope and you have to have faith, kind of that that people can be born into and not be have to be ruled by someone, and so he has that whole hope that there can just be this free land. But it's like, can there not? I don't know. It's just that whole big thing of what happens after, But I mean, we don't have a next season. Maybe we'll have a spinoff.
I know. That would be very nice.
So we'll see.
So yeah, I think there is a big master pirate plan. And I feel like there is going to be some redemption in Woods' death. For some reason. I don't know why I really have this feeling. I feel like because he failed so big at protecting Eleanor that I feel like he's got to go out not like in a humiliating and like pathetic way, that he's going to go out like
not like Teach did.
Proudly.
Yeah.
And fighting.
Yeah, something big. I mean, I think his death is kind of inevitable, that he's going to, meet his demise very quickly on that island.
For sure. Okay, so some of our predictions back here. Flint will be with Thomas. Yes. They're a long way from Port Royal, but Jack is probably done for at this point. He has no allies and no idea what he's walking into. You guys in the chat, everyone thinks Jack's going to die. Okay.
No, Jack is staying alive. I will predict that. No, he's alive.
Killian. By the way, Flint, aside... Persona James took when he arrived at NASA, blah, blah, blah. Will James McGraw survive? Ooh, nice angle. He could revert back to his noble ways. No trick, but Silver will dump him at this secret location where he meets Thomas, who wouldn't like Flint? Huh? What does that last part mean, Jill? I don't understand the point of raising hope that Thomas might be alive, only to kill Flint at the end. Not this time around. Those 6 are dead. Flint will make it to the last episode, I believe, says Trey. Drac might die next. Okay. Woods will see Ghost Eleanor on Skeleton Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like that one, Jill.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he probably will see her. I mean, he saw her crying and stuff.
Her. Yeah. Ooh, I like that one.
And she will give him some type of advice or wise words or something.
I can't wait for the freaking Skeleton Island shit.
There's going to be a crazy battle.
Yeah, so in our teaser, in the promo for next week, it's like very foresty, very like, they're like on the hunt for Flint and the treasure.
But think about this. So Silver sent his 6 best men onto the island.
Yes.
So it's the 6 best men plus Flint, and that is a forceful team there. So if they're going on and then all of them together are booby trapping and getting all that island together and ready, and then if they don't come back and Silver's like, oh, they must have all died, and then Roger sends his men on, and then they all just start getting killed. So maybe they're all going on purpose to work together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the situation. Or Flint persuades them. I don't know. But I have a strong belief that our pirates are going to band together.
Ugh.
All right. Whew, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, a lot to work with. But you guys, we have 2 episodes left.
No, that's... How is there only 2
episodes freaking left? This is going to be intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
These last 2. We're going to
go a little crazy. Because next episode is going to set up the finale completely.
Yeah.
And next episode is what I'm really looking forward to, because it's craziness is about to transpire on there.
Okay, everyone. Whew, thank you so much for tuning in with us. As always, we love your thoughts and your everything. It's so awesome. We've got 22 people in the chat right now.
So fun.
Oh, I love it. If you guys there in the chat haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And find us on iTunes as well and leave us a review there. In the meantime, where can everyone find you online?
You guys can find me at Nadine DP3, and please tweet me or talk to me throughout the week about your thoughts and stuff, because I love it and I can't get enough pirates. Two left.
It's so good. And you guys can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun. That's LAUREN SALAUN. And we will see you here same time, same place next week. You guys have a great night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.